Hello, I'm Ed Barrera, founder of Gravity Works and Hannah Somatic Educator, and I help people online overcome physical pain, reduce muscular stress and tension, and recover quickly from injury using safe, simple, natural tools known as somatic exercises where we use the brain to change our muscles back to comfort so we can do what we want once again with our body, like staying out of muscular stiffness, not having to live with immobility or guarding ourselves, and being able to restore natural flexibility as easily as Fido does. Now, all animals naturally contract themselves along a series or chain of muscles. We thought that they were stretching, but in fact, they're doing a whole nother thing, and they're doing it quite consciously. This is perhaps why they move so well. And this is what we use as the heart of what's called somatic exercises, the process of pandiculation. And you're going to get to experience that in a moment here. I'm going to ask you to lie down with your knees bent, and I'm going to ask you to be paying attention to a few parts of your body simultaneously. That way you can pay attention to what it is that you're contracting, and at the same time paying attention to the opposite side that you could also contract. And by being mindful, you can restore this art of movement. Because animals do move well, and many people move well, and we can all move well. So if you're ready, go ahead, lie down on the floor, make yourself comfortable. I'm going to guide you along, and all you have to do is listen and follow along. Now bring your right shoulder and your left hip forwards, while at the same time bringing your right hip and your left shoulder backwards. And then release. Now bring your right hip and your left shoulder forwards while pulling your right shoulder and your left hip backwards. And then release. And then keep repeating that. One opposite shoulder and hip come forwards, while at the same time the other shoulder and the hip coordinates itself backwards. You can go ahead and move a little faster because this is what begins to happen as you are walking. And just work at coordinating this little pattern here. But feel yourself clearly. Focus on bringing just the shoulder and the opposite hip forwards. You'll notice how the other shoulder and hip fall backwards. Or you can focus on the falling backwards and notice how the other diagonal moves forwards, and then focus on all of it simultaneously because your brain does it for you all the time. Isn't it nice to be unconscious? And it's nicer to be conscious so that we can shift back and forth as we need to in the course of our lives. Well, how was that? Were you able to coordinate that sequence? Did one side not work as well as the other side? Did it get a little confusing there? Did it go too fast for you? That's all okay. Because we can build little movement patterns that would lead to something like that. That's sort of the end of a somatic exercise program, if you will, where we would work first on all the little parts so that at the end you would move fluidly and easily. And really, all it takes is simple, easy movements like that to restore flexibility, to regain mobility, and you can move comfortably for the rest of your life. This is Ed Barrera from Gravity Works wishing you always to move well.